Hi, welcome to Art Conspiracy. I'm Amy, and I have not recorded for a while because I've been traveling from Thailand to the United States. I came back to get vaccinated and see my family, who I hadn't seen in a couple of years. So it's been wonderful. I've been super busy making art, but I'm coming to you today to tell you about a whole nother trip, which I can't believe I'm going to get to do, but I am going to Ecuador tomorrow and I am assembling my art supplies. You can see them, some of them on my bed back here, which is, for me, it's the potential of being able to do art, especially in a place that I've never been, is so exciting to look for the things I want to paint and, see the world through the eyes of an artist. It is like vision on steroids. It's really a wonderful thing. Anyway, I thought I'd share with you what I'm putting together, what I've decided to take with me in terms of art supplies. It's always a fun process to try to figure out what to take. And so I'm going to share that with you. And let me change my screen and get started. Okay, so the first thing I take is a bunch of these pens, just ink pens. I usually use a 0.05 or excuse me, 0.5 for all my art geeks out there that like this kind of information. That's pretty basic. Pencils. I'm going to take my favorite 4B pencil and I'm taking 3 of them, 3 pens at least. I probably have a bunch of those. 2 pencil sharpeners. They're just little ones with the little case for the shavings. But if you're stuck without a pencil sharpener, you are out of luck. So I'm bringing 2. And I see my video is a little fuzzy. I don't know what to do about that. Erasers. I like the white blocky eraser. And here's my little backup eraser that's been around. So that's pretty basic. And then I always bring some gray markers. Having gray in your kit, I think, is really important, especially if you're doing watercolor or any kind of drawing that's colored. You want to be able to have some neutrals, and I draw in a way that I layer. So you can actually do layer right on top of your pencil, marker right on top of your pencil, or also on top of your watercolor. The next thing that's important, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more at length, are white media. And I'm going to do a little demo and show you how to use this white media. So stand by for that. But here's what I have. I have a white, soft colored pencil, Prismacolor. These are Posca, which are like a white marker. And this is also a white marker, a little bit fatter, Faber-Castell Pitt pen. And then my secret weapon, which is just white out correction fluid, which is a much harder opaque white than the marker whites or the colored pencil. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. Okay, so stand by. And then I have my primary color source is going to be watercolor, but I also have some markers, and I'm covering the primaries. I have blue, I have a red, I have a yellow, and I have a green. And with my grays and with my whites, trust me, this adds up to like a whole lot more colors than you would imagine. So these are just my supplemental colors. And then, and then a brown also. So that's that. And then I have just a handful of colored pencils. I almost always use these on top of another medium. I find colored pencils by themselves are not robust enough of a tool for me. So I layer on top of markers or on top of watercolor. And it's really wonderful. But I basically only do light on top of dark. So I have some light colors. Again, the spectrum of colors. I have a red, I have a blue, I have a yellow, anyway, and I have green. So that's that. And let me move on to paper. So I have sketch paper. This is, let me pull back a little bit. I have just white little, it's like a 5x7, just for quick sketches, white paper. I also have this toned paper, and I didn't have small. So I basically took it from a large pad and I folded it in half. And it's going to be 2 drawings, but I'll just do one on one side and one on the other side. And I have 6 of these. So that's 12 pieces of paper. And this toned paper is really good for the white media, which is what I'm going to show you. Okay, for watercolor, I have kind of a mix. I have a big pad, not too big actually, it's only 9 by 12, but this is for when I'm in my hotel, doing my In the Mirror series, working on something where I have more time. And I'd rather work big. You know, if left to my own devices, I would always work big. But when you're on the road and you're quick sketching out on the street, you can't always work big. So I have a few, again, that I took from a larger watercolor pad and I cut in half. So these are just a medium weight, 140-pound watercolor paper, separate. And I'll bring, 8 of these or so. And then I have the smallest size, which is a watercolor pad. This is actually a brand that I get in Thailand. So that's my 3 sizes of watercolor that you can see. Okay, so then, I can move on to paint. But before I do, I'm going to do my little demo for you. I'm going to show you very quickly how I use some of my white supplies, because I think you're going to find this really interesting. So you can start with pencil, although I often don't. It depends on how confident I feel. Sometimes I'll do pencil as my sort of light under drawing, so to speak, until I feel like, oh yeah, I have what I want, enough of what I want. But sometimes you just go right into ink. So I'm doing a head study. So here's the hair, and I sort of ignore my structural lines. And when I do my ink, I often only put it where I absolutely need it. Like, for instance, the hair can be soft next to the background, so I don't need to do a heavy line there. I know where it is. And I did the eyebrow, but not the eye. So the eye can be drawn with a different media. And even the parting line of the lips, I just do that line, and then the lips themselves are going to be done with another medium. Let me pull in here. Okay, so here we have our beginning, and I'm making this up. Okay, so here's where the fun begins. So I'm going to use some of my gray marker. I always have a test, and I'm going to decide the light is coming from this way. So this eye is in darkness, maybe the side of the nose, the upper lip. Oh yeah, there she is. Maybe this side of her hair a little. There's a little shadow here. A little background action. Maybe this eye too can be. I love doing eyes where they're just the shape of the socket at first, and then you put in the details. Like her chin, she looks like Jay Leno. Here, I can change that. Make her a little bit more slender. The great thing about this technique too is you're really layering, so you can make incredible changes if you want to. All right, here we go. So now my marker, this is my light source. So look at that. Oh yeah. And I can come up and I can color that marker too and change the shape of that. I'm just putting that light in. Maybe a little bit in her hair. Da-da-dum, da-da-boom. Then the Poscas are just more specific. It's a little sharper line. You see that? So I can put in, I don't know, whatever I feel like doing here. So I change the line a little bit. Working really fast. She got earrings. Really fun to play with the light on this beautiful tanned paper. So there we go. Then the whiteout, which I usually don't do till the very end. Let me tell you about this whiteout. This is the style that I use. This flat one, this Pentel or Presto in some countries. I always take it, shake it, pick off the tip in case it dried out a little, and then test it, make sure it's working. And then look at this. This is a much harder, more opaque light. Put a little shine on her lip there. See that? It's really fun. A little tip of her nose, maybe her collar. Make that a little less. There we go. Okay, and then you can come in with your darker again. I'm going to define that brow. Give her a little bit more eye action. There we go. Maybe reshape her nose if I wasn't totally happy with that. Work on those lips a little bit. Add more line. Okay, and then this is really fun. Check this out. You can take your marker and you can color the line. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. A little red under her eyes. There we go. Just giving you a little taste of what's possible. Here's a blue, so you color that white line, and next to it, it's going to be different, dark, because the whiteout won't absorb the color quite the same way. And let's go with a little yellow. Let's say she's blonde. Look at this. Just wow. Look at all that variation. So pretty. And it goes right over top of that gray. This is a great way to sketch. Just layer. And honestly, you can change your mind a lot. I'm going to come back in with some more gray and make these earrings pop out. See this? I got really dark. Let's say, oh, I think, oh, that's too dark. That doesn't look good. I'm going to come in with my Posca and reintroduce. Look at that. Changed my mind. I'm going to go back to yellow. I mean, I'm not getting rid of it entirely, but I'm going to get rid of a lot of it. And I don't even know what's going to happen. It's sort of smeared. But you can just make endless changes. Very fun. And then the colored pencil is sort of a soft addition. You see that? I'm just going to add a little warmth to her cheeks and her nose, maybe around her eyes. And let me show you. I'm going to put that, make that shoulder a little bit warm. And then with my marker, look at that. I can soften that too. So the possibilities are endless, but I just love using this brown paper. So that's your quick demo. So I forgot to tell you, this is my little kid school kit, little plastic box. I buy these all the time in thrift shops, super cheap for $1. I like the ones with a thicker lid, because then you can hold stuff in there as well. But this is perfect for all of my drawing supplies. They're all going to fit. I made sure that I picked just what will fit in here. This is great. See that? And then when I'm working, I can move them over here, see what the heck I'm doing. I also can fit my erasers, my little pencil sharpeners, and my chapstick, which is always in my kit. So there's for the drawing supplies. That's very portable. Okay, so then for watercolor, I actually have 3 different kits that I use. And for this trip, I don't want to take all of these. So I basically took my favorite colors and put it into one sort of master kit, one perfect kit, which was really fun to do. I had to really think about which colors I use all the time, which ones I don't use. And I had to make a new cheat sheet, which I always have, to help me just see what's what. After a while, you don't have to refer to it because you know the colors so well. So there's my watercolor tray. This is really nice Sennelier. And then I have a little tiny water container that I haul around, but you can usually find a paper cup. I have Chinese white and a little plastic cup just to put it on because I don't like to put my Chinese white in my watercolor tray. Um, Reasons which I won't go into. I have a spritzer to spritz my colors. I have tissues, which I use to blot paint, and really, really helpful. Tissues are very important, and blow your nose. And then also moist towelettes are really, really great for when you're out on the street, you get something on your hands, just got to wipe it off. It's really comes in handy, these towelettes. So I think that is it for my kit. I think I have everything. I think I've told you everything. The only other thing is oh, I forgot brushes. Tell you about that real quick. I usually just, I've had lots of pencil or brush kits or, holders. And I just end up wrapping them up in a terry cloth towel, rolling them up. And that works great for me. And then I don't have to take them in and out of a holder. But I always have a fat round. I have a couple different rounds. I actually lost my middle one. So I have 2 rounds. I have 4 flats. Big one, medium, smaller, smaller. And I have 1 fat one. There's a name for this. I can't remember at the moment. Might be a filbert. So that's it for my brushes. And then I need a bag. I want to have a bag I figure my purse only needs a little bit, my passport, my money, not much, but I need a lot of art supplies all the time. So I'm going to go look for something today, and I'll let you know what I find. But here's the thing. I can bring all these art supplies to Ecuador, but if I don't work, if I don't paint, it's all for naught. And I will. I mean, I know that I will, but I really want to encourage everybody to paint, especially when you travel, because what happens is you have to slow down to paint and to work, and you're really, really looking at your subject, and it's like a meditation in a way, and you are experiencing not just what you're looking at, but what you're smelling and what's the sounds, and what is happening and the time of day. And when you look at the artwork, no matter how it turns out, it doesn't matter how it turns out. When you look at that artwork, you are going to profoundly recall that experience. And that's why painting on the road is so wonderful. We take a gazillion photographs and we think that's going to help us remember. And I guess it does in a way, but it's not a deep experience to take a photograph. It's so quick, but to sit down with a subject, even for 15 minutes, is hell longer than taking a picture. So anyway, I just want to encourage everyone, whether you're on the road or you're in lockdown, okay, get out the paints, get into the zen, get into the zone, and do some artwork because it feels really good. It's good for your soul. So that's it. I will definitely be posting pictures from Ecuador. I'm so excited to just be there. I think I'm really going to use that brown paper that I talked about, because looking at pictures of Quito and Cuenca, all the buildings are this burnt orange brown. It's going to be pretty nice. So see you later. Stay safe. And that's it. Do good work. Art Conspiracy. Bye.